Comrades, I am Admiral Andre, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. No, I did not disappear from the face of the Earth, but I have been very busy. That's why this is the first video in a while. And in fact, this is probably going to be the case for the next few months because I'm doing some extra work now. And it's very exciting because it's actually linked to the space arena, and it's indirectly, I suppose, sort of indirectly linked with one of the big space agencies of the world, and they have many members in that space agency. But I can't tell you too much about it because obviously it's still in development and so on. But it's a sort of I would almost say a foot in the door. Not really, because obviously I'm not outside of my country. I'm still in South Africa, but I am doing some work for a certain space agency through somebody else. So yes, maybe one day I could tell you more about that, comrades. But that means for the next few months, unfortunately, there will be fewer videos. I did want to at least make this bit of an announcement. I'll continue with the big projects because I think if we have less videos, we should focus more on the big things. So finishing the Mir station is obviously priority number one. And then after that, I think the next one in line is the N1. So that's another important thing. After that, it's probably the Buran shuttle as well. So we focus on these big projects. I think that's the most efficient way. Then I'll also do some real politics videos once in a while. I'll try every week, at least one video a week for both real politics and KSP. Hopefully more. You know, I've only started last week, so it's still a phase of adjustment to this whole thing because I have my work, the extra work, and I'm supposed to be working on my PhD, so that's another thing. So yes, but all very exciting, comrades. So today we are looking at the Spektr module for the Mir station. So as we always do, let's look at what the thing is supposed to look like and then we build it. So see you in the VAB in a moment, comrades. Aha, comrades, here we are again. Let's have a look. What is next in the Mir agenda? And we have launched Crystal. So Spektr is the next one, the fifth module of the Mir station. Now, Spektr is the one with the 4 solar panels. This is, let's just have a look, was the first of the 3 modules launched during the Shuttle Mir program, but we're not looking at the shuttle aspect yet. It served as the living quarters for the American astronauts and housed NASA-sponsored experiments, so we need to definitely have a housing module there. So probably a hitchhiker container again. The module was designed for remote observation of Earth's environment and contained atmospheric and surface research equipment. So possibly a barometer or one of those, what is it, a fluid spectrometer or something from the game. We can put that on, and possibly some of those surface scanners. But the big one, of course, will come with Priroda. It featured 4 solar arrays which generated approximately half of the station's electrical power. Yes, this is the electrical module, or the power module. The module also had a science airlock to expose experiments to the vacuum of space, but we will not worry about that because we have our main airlock, so making another one, which will essentially be a repeat of the other one, is not really what I think this would be. This is a much smaller airlock. Spektr was rendered unusable following the collision of Progress M in 1997, which is a pity because it was only 2 years since it was launched. So let's hope to avoid that, comrades. Now let's have a look at our map again. Where is Spektr located? So it is on the opposite side of the Quant 2. So that makes it quite easy. It's facing to the bottom of the core module. So you see the 3 panels there. Then, of course, the panels are in alignment with the crystal module. And yes, of course, again, we don't have these exact kinds of solar panels, but we'll be using our large ones. Let's just have a look at some other images here. Now, the very interesting thing again is that this is very much similar again to the previous designs that we had. You see, there's the panels on the sides, there's the engine facing towards the station, and there's the sort of tank thing on the side. So we will reuse that. I think we could even use the Quant 2's main section again, because it has a hitchhiker container already. Then after that, well, this has so many details again, it's very difficult to make out, but the shape is very easy to see here. So again, the panels on the bottom with the tanks on the sides, and then it's on the same side as the panels. Then it has another section here about the same diameter as the bottom, of course, not looking at the panels there. And then it goes towards a point, and then on that sides we have other solar panels. We also have some kind of a tank thing here. And then I guess that's an antenna on the top there. Difficult to say. Let's have a look. What else could we see here? Same thing again here. Different color than the other modules maybe. I'm not sure. It depends what this thing was covered with. Looks more metallic. I'm not sure what's happening there. Looks like some kind of a mesh. There's another one. This all looks white now again, before the collision. So maybe that was after the collision. Yes. Oh, yes, of course. Look at the panel. Didn't even see that. This is after the collision. This is before. Let's look at this one. So this looks much better. So all white, basically. Then there's the engine. Let's see. Some modules and experiments we could put on the outside. I guess this little hatch is the airlock for the experiments. Looks like it can open there. Or it could be a window though. Very, very possible. Maybe we'll put two hitchhiker containers on top of each other and then have the window up there. So that could be something. This one there is like the thing that we saw. The pipe is on the top there. Now, of course, top and bottom's not easy to ascertain here, but it's facing some way. This thing is so small, I wish we could see what it said. What's here? Complex Lyra, I'm not sure what that is. Launching installation, curves, antennas, of course, sun orientation sensors, so on and so on. But where is another one like this? Here. Still, it's too small to read. What's this one? This is Quant 2 again. Well, comrades, we'll have to improvise a little like we usually do, but that is not a problem. It almost looks like this thing is offset from that. And what's this stuff in the middle here? No, I'm going to go based on this, which is all solid here. Okay, comrades, we'll see what we can do. I'll put windows there and some kind of a tank structure on the top there. Will our map show where that is? I assume it's on the other side then, facing towards the core module. But it's difficult. It does look like there's the core module though. Okay, let's see what we can do, comrades. Aha, so comrades, here we are. I've just loaded up the Quant 2 here, because I think at least this first part of it can be a useful foundation for our Spektr module. So let's get rid of the booster for now. Everything under there. So again, the very bottom is the same. We have obviously the docking port, then a small section there, and then this part that goes wider and narrower again. And then of course the various panels and things. Also the tanks on the side. I'm just going to have to fix the engines here. Let's get rid of these fuel cells and just take this and swap it around, because obviously it was the wrong way around with the Quant 2 in the first place. Now here again I'll just change it so it looks a little bit nicer. Actually, it should still be double there. Now, that means a little out like that, and then back in again. So, maybe a bit more than that. Yes, I think so. Again, this part looks right, but the nozzle is obviously something that we can't remove. So, this will be part of the housing there. Now we still have this airlock here, but we can pretend this is for the experiments, that we can expose that to space, so our Kerbals will never use that part. Now this is a hitchhiker container, so this is where the American astronauts coming up with the shuttle will live. And then we still need something on top of that, but something that's not narrow like this. Let me just go back to the image, that specific one of the Spektr before the collision. No, it's definitely the same diameter, but not quite as long as the panels. So, let's have a look. So everything above this should go. Hopefully it's not going to mess anything up here. Our probe core is beneath that, I think. So we keep the tanks and obviously the thrusters and all of that. But now we should continue that. Now, what can we use for this? Something that's a bit shorter than the length of the panels there. It would be nice to use another hitchhiker oh, good grief. I should just take that out. But no, that's linked to the tanks, I think. Yes. Okay, never mind that. Let's just make sure it attaches to the middle there. Come on. Is it so difficult? It's preferring to go to those bigger attachment nodes. Oh, this is not good. Let's just have a look inside here again. So I'm using those adapters. That's what we see at the top there. But in any case, doesn't matter now. I think this is a bit too long. So let's just look at the length here. Although that is shorter than the panels because they stick out on the bottom a bit. And then we still have the windows. Yes. We'll use another hitchhiker. The Americans can also live in here and do some of their experiments as we saw. Now, we're going to, I guess we just keep the orientation. So it has to be this way again. But now hold on. So the panels will be on this side where the tanks are. And therefore the windows have to be on the other side like this, so thusly. And also we're not going to use this flag anymore, not that we could see it before, because this is a Russian module, not a Soviet one. Now of course I don't have the Russian flag here. What's blue, red and white? I'm not sure if we even need the flag. We can remove it for now. We'll just see what it looks like because we still have to add the panels and then it's going to cover it up anyway. But now, can I possibly attach this? Why is it refusing? Well, the easy answer there is to... Well, I don't know if that's an easy answer. Is to try and cover those up at least and then use one that's hopefully now still available there. There, and then we take that back out again. Yes, always an answer. So, we will have the solar panels in this direction. Now, of course, that means it's going to cover the hatch up there, but that's perfectly fine. Now, what do we do beyond this? Beyond this, we start to get narrow. So, this is going to be the pointy end. Now, let's see. I think one of those tanks will be the best. Like that, because it is quite a long structure there. Now, do I need to move this in a little? Not sure if it really makes a difference. Maybe like that. I think that looks a little neater there where it joins, but now is it sticking out on the bottom here? Yes, it is. No, never mind, just put it on like that. So what happens after that? I think we get those weird structures that look like antennas on the top. But I suppose we have to make it even pointier. Let's see, so for that, the nose cone. like this. Sure, that line is not perfectly straight there, but with solar panels covering it up, it might be okay. Let's just see. So the top panels have to be like this, but now where are they? They are in the middle of that nose cone segment there. Although I think that's too long. It should probably end like this, and then we'll put structures and tanks and things on the top there. So in the middle of this, where's the middle of this? About there, I would say. Yes, we want some clearance on the bottom. Then these ones also have to go in here, of course not overlapping with anything. So let's put it right over the hatch there. And see what that looks like. Now if this, just get rid of that. If this thing turns now, is it going to hit the edge of the panel? Undoubtedly it would just pass right through, but I don't want that. So you see there, this does overlap a little bit there, so we would want to move them out a bit. Yes, like that. I don't need to put another one of those octagonal strut things underneath that, because only in the last, well, it's probably now a few weeks, but it's relatively recently that I learned the trick that you can offset things beyond their limits by holding the shift key down. Shows you can never know everything about this game. There's always going to be something else to surprise you and delight you. Now, should we move those as well? I think so. We'll keep them the same distance away from the module. So, shift and drag. But I don't want that thing sticking out there. It should sit nice and flush with the thing. Now I'm not happy with this nose cone, I have to say. It doesn't give quite the right look here. Now let's just extend everything and have a look at this thing. Okay. Obviously the panels are not looking the same. They should be wider on the ends, but that's okay. Now let's see, what else can I see here? I also think the top panels are longer than the bottom ones because they actually extend further than the bottom ones, but again, this is all that we have. Now, I'm not going to put those fuel cells back again. It doesn't look like it has that sort of thing. I suppose now we'll just put the experiments on because we have the engines. Oh yes, we still need the RCS thing. Now, how are we going to do that? Can't see anything on the actual figures there. So Spektr, there's tanks here and there. So those are the engines, and it's too small to see anything. Now how did we do it before? We put it on the same side. So if we retract these again, there's basically, where's the room for the RCS ports? We could try and squeeze it in there, but it's going to fire directly into the solar panels. No, I think we'll have to use the pointier cone here. And then I'll just move these a little bit further up. Shift and drag. Yeah, something like that. So, same problem though. Just trying to see here. Okay, this is a good one. This is damage to the Spektr, but we can see there's the RCS, and it does look like it's there in between the two solar panels. And anyway, that one is supposed to fire upwards, so let's see if I can steal it there and attach it here. Just two, and then move it back out. Yes, it's not going to fire into anything, and it's going to be bringing us down towards the station. I might need to turn it slightly though, just so it works a little bit better. And then bring this down. Obviously, we will not use this while the solar panels are deployed. Okay, and it's clearly free there, so I think that solves that problem. Now, what else do we need? This does look like a very bizarre module, but with the panels, it clearly looks a lot better. Oh yes. Okay, so I'm happy with the overall shape here. It's just, it almost looks like a rocket, the top of a rocket here, but it's because of the shape there. Now, what else could we put on this thing? Let's put some experiments on. If I just get that other image again of the Spektr before the collision, it's got all sorts of tanks and things on the outside. So let's look at our science here. So we know they're supposed to be atmospheric experiments. So let's throw a few of these on here. Now, obviously at the altitude of Mir in KSP, there's no atmosphere, but in the real world there would be a very thin atmosphere. Let's throw one on there. Just give the thing some texture here. There's the atmospheric fluid spectrovariometer. We definitely need that. Now, maybe we could put it like this on 2 times symmetry. Yes, that's giving it a little bit of an industrial look again. Let's move this in a little bit, but not that much. Also helps to cover up that line there. Okay, what else? What else do we need? That's way too big. It's not going to look right. What about the mystery goo thing on the top where we saw that tank thing? That could work. I don't think we have that yet. So that would be... It looks like it's attached to something else though. It's very difficult to say again. Now, okay, what are we going to do here? Which way is going to point which way? Doesn't really matter again. Let me just have a look again at the thing. I don't see anything resembling an airlock on that side, so let's put it on this side. So in this case, just to give it again something to attach to, let's use one of the struts here and just place it flat there, and then some panels, so again it looks a little bit more like the thing, but only 1 times symmetry please. Then it almost looks like we need something bigger than that. The mystery goo thing is almost too small. Just like that, it must just be offset a little bit. Now, of course I'll just put it here so it attaches nicely, and then I'll move it. I suppose it will do. It will give us another experiment to do, and this is sort of again a module dedicated to some forms of science. Let's put some small tanks again on the outside just for appearance sake. Now, is there any kind of discernible pattern to those tanks? Not really. There's 2 on the side there by the opposite side. It's so difficult to see. This thing does not have that mystery goo thing. So let's put it then on the opposite side. 2 there. Now again, this is very much asymmetrical, but that's okay. Just as long as it looks like it's attached there. What else? What else do we see? I don't see any discernible antennas, like actual antennas sticking out. So maybe this one is not going to really be focused on that. Can I see one where it had the damage? Oh yes, there we see some small antennas. Okay, I see 3 of them now. So that is the side where the mystery goo thing is not, and then it's pointing out towards the side. So again, this side. And I guess it almost looks like it's on the panels. We could even... let's not snap to it. Although we could. Doesn't make any difference. Let's snap one there and one there. Yes, that's sort of what it looks like, but it's angled upwards. No, what did I do? Oh, man. Let's see, how many angles, how many degrees. Let me just look back at the image. It's about 45, I would say. So we can probably use snapping for that. And then, of course, I want to move them in a bit so they don't look so obtrusive. Because really the grey part of these antennas is just the housing. So the red and white part, that's the actual antenna. Now there's another one. I don't really see antennas on the other side. There is sort of a bigger one there, but I don't know what exactly that is. And there's sort of pipes running around. Okay, so this is on the top above the solar panel. Do the same thing with that. Yes. I don't think we really need more antennas than that. I just want to see again on the side where we see that tank thing that we use now for the not monopropellant, for the mystery goo. Is there any kind of tank structures there? Again, it's so difficult to see here. Now this thing actually does say here on this, this is the graph, or not graph, the illustration that we looked at before with that complex Lyra thing. This does say for those panels they are actually external cooling radiators. Now we have never put radiators on this station before. We don't really need them and they still look like radiators. But could we throw some radiators on here? I don't want to break up our theme though, because we've been using these consistently, and adding this on top is going to look a bit weird. So maybe we could add them elsewhere just to make the thing have a bit more texture again, not look so plain. Possibly above the engines, but now not on this side. There, I think that will give it some small attention to detail there. Just like that, so it looks like this is almost attached to it. Then what else do we need? Again, this looks very plain still. There are things up there, but it's very difficult to see exactly what they are. So let's try and put a box thing on this side. This is of course the experiment module that I've very rarely used before, but we'll put it on like that. May contain science, so that's very appropriate there. And of course we don't want to overdo this. I just want to add maybe like a small tank or something to the top here, just to give it a little bit of detail. Maybe not that much. Then what else? See it from a different angle again. Now that's after the damage. It does look like it has a flat panel there though. Maybe we could put it there. Let's see. This one is going to be a bit more difficult to do now. Although we can just go inside here and then place it right there. And then use a structural panel and then move the lot up. I'm sure that was more experiments right on the very top there. Now I can't actually see that strut now, but that's okay. We'll just move the thing up. Now it won't move further than that, but now I know the trick with the shift key. Good grief. Shows you, if nobody ever tells you that, it's difficult to know. Now how far up should that go? I think just about there. Then we'll put some small details up here. Maybe one of those, and then again just move it around so it looks a little bit nicer. And what else would we need now, apart from the aesthetics? We do have all of these experiments already on the Quant 1. I don't know if we have a thermometer yet, to be honest. I don't think we do. I'll put one here just for the sake of it. We're not going to see it too much anyway. Let's put it flat with that thing. It measures radiation or something, I guess. Does anyway, thermal radiation. There. So it's not too obtrusive. Then let's put another gravioli detector up here. Just again move it so it sits nice against the panel there. Okay, now, anything else? What about the surface scanning module? Have I used this somewhere before? And this is anyway about sort of Earth observation, so of course this will be completely useless, but we can imagine it has some purpose. Let's put it here, but I don't want these things to be sticking out too much. Maybe just like this. There, so it looks like there's some kind of science going on there, as there should be. Is there anything else? Now for the last module, the Priroda, will use this big scanner here. That's definitely the appropriate thing, so we won't worry about that now. The narrowband is not going to, well, it can actually work, but this is not going to fit here. Does the thing spin? Don't think so, not sure. Can't remember if it spins. What we can do is put it somewhere here just so it kind of again looks like a part of the thing. Detected all model. I've never seen that before. Now where would we put something like that? Or we could save it for the Priroda module. Maybe we should. Don't want to overdo it. No, I think let's not do it. We will save it for the final module. Now, is that all that we need? We've got some monopropellant. We have our fuel, of course. Now, I think having learned from the last launch, we really need more fuel again. So this is, after all, the Quant 2's configuration here. And the crystal showed us that we would not have made it without these extra tanks. Okay, it doesn't matter too much what those look like. Comrades, I think that's it. That's all that we need, really. Maybe these fluid spectrometer things could even be removed. I'm not sure. I'm not liking their look right now. No, take them off here and see if we can find a spot for one of them. Now, I saw in one of those figures there was a launching installation. I'm not sure what that is. That must be for the experiments. And that's above where we saw the window. Let's just have a look at the other one. Doesn't quite look like it, but let's put this above the window here. We can also imagine this exposes experiments to space there. Yes, that could work. Actually, then we should probably put it over the hatch. But now, putting it there is not going to look so nice. Let's just move it down a little bit more. That can work. But now, what about this here? Not sure I like that. Let's cover it up with another radiator. Yes, yes, yes. Now I just need to get out of this move thing. So put that there and cover up this hatch. We do not require it. So that fluid spectrometer thing is going to be our experiment thing to expose the stuff to space. Now, unfortunately, I can't move this too close to the hatch here because then those railings will stick through, but maybe we could still do that. Although that does look quite ugly. No, we're gonna have this offset a little. Just like that. There's a little gap now obviously between it, but that's also okay. I think that looks much better, comrades. Yes, this is our Spektr module. I think we can go with that. Of course, the main focus is the housing and, of course, some experiments, but really also the power. So let's put more... Oh yes, we have to put on more reaction control here. We've seen the station definitely requires that. So can I grab some, maybe 2 advanced stabilizers? I know they overlap slightly here now, but we won't be able to see that. Yes, that will help. And batteries, more batteries. This only has 615. So we'll take the big ones and we will take 4 of them. And then we'll put them in there. There. That's it. Save this immediately. Spektr, save. And no flags are visible, so we don't really need to worry about it. And after all, the Mir didn't really have massive flags on the side anyway. So, okay, comrades, now with that in place, let's see where the booster is, so we can move this thing. Just get it there and open. Don't save. Let's take the crystal, merge with this one. Take everything under the decoupler there with a shift key and put it there. And it covers it up. I don't even need to change the panels or the fairings there. It is a bit too long though, so maybe I should. There. Maybe it saves a few kilograms. I'm not sure if it works like that though. Comrades, I think we are ready to go, so I am going to save again. You will of course find this again in the Dropbox. Eventually I will put this stuff on Kerbal X, but again that is now time that is a bit scarce for me. So let's launch this thing. I hope the staging is still good. It should be. And then I will see you on the launch pad. So save again and go to the Boomerang site. Let's go. Now, it's night time here, but that doesn't matter. But I think it's probably going to be again around the dawn time window thing that we'll have to launch. So let's just fast forward and see what we end up with. Now, the station's location is really irrelevant for this, but it is coming up there, so it will have to catch up to us. So we will have to go into a slightly higher orbit. Now, as usual, we'll launch just below the 90 there, and then I will see you in space, comrades, if we make it, of course. I have to remember to launch quite steeply, you know, not to do a gravity turn too early, because the first stage here is struggling a little bit, but, oh well. So, with that said, F5 and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Comrades, we made it to orbit. We are in a 134 by 129 kilometer orbit, and we have 2 seconds of fuel left in the upper stage, so we are really pushing the limits of the Proton. But I think we should still be able to make it with very careful maneuvering. I'll have to separate this thing again to see if we can return it to a trajectory where it can burn up in the atmosphere. But I have to say things are looking stunning here now. Not that they haven't before, but even more now. You could probably see the snow-capped mountains there by our launch site, and that's because I reinstalled the stock visual terrain mod, but it's still the old version for the last version of the game. But I did go and check back at our moon base where Jeb is still waiting, and it did not fall through the surface again like we saw earlier with that shuttle thing. So I guess it was just because the update happened and something went wrong, but since I've reinstalled it, it seems to be working, but I'll still have a look again for a newer version. But let's separate this thing. I'll F5 again. We are here now for good or ill. Separate that. Switch over and do a retro burn very briefly, very gently. Let's hope we have enough. Not necessarily for this, but for that. For the docking. I think this will be fine. Oh yes, more than enough. Right, so now let's see. We probably need to just extend the panel just to be safe here. And oh, this is a magnificent view here. Stunning, stunning. Anyway, now it's time to plan the rest of our orbit, but I'm just gonna get something to drink here, comrades. Okay, we are almost at the burn now. We've just had to wait a few hours for the station to move a bit closer, but we have a 9 meters per second burn coming up in 44 seconds, so let's activate the engines and point to the target and just of course make sure that we're controlling from the right place, but we still would be. We're not selecting the docking port yet. Let's just bring the arm or the panel in. Only 2 seconds. Hopefully this will be a very easy process. So let's see. To burn. As it gets to the end, it wants to follow it. Let's see what the result is. Select that as a target. Let's just go back to us now. There we go. 4.4 kilometers. So that should be very doable there. Let's warp ahead 12 minutes or so. Let's just watch the station there. The problem is we will be approaching the dark side, which is of course not the best for docking. So 3 minutes. Let's see if we can close the distance here. Luckily the delta V cost is not going to be too extreme. Just need to move this a bit closer. 4 kilometers. It has no impact yet. It's because we're still in a higher orbit, so what we need to do is lower our orbit slightly. Let's see if that helps. Did that help? There we go. 3.9. No, it's pushing it the wrong way. Let's plan this. Maybe it's because of the offset. That's 6.4. It's even worse. 4.2. That gets us to 3.8. Let's try it anyway. Now what's happening on the other side? Maybe that's where we'll meet up. That would be better near sunrise anyway. Let's see, if I burn that, it's not going to help. There's something, 4.9, but I would like closer than that. 2.4, 3, 2, 1, 2 kilometers, 1, almost, okay. Let's just push it a little further. No, it's not going to help. Okay, never mind. Let's burn. Now is the time. What happened? What's the outcome? 0.7. Okay, now that's much better, and the timing is also better. So let's warp ahead. Let's just make sure we're not running out of power here. So, almost there, comrades. Always a very exciting thing when a docking is coming together. 2 minutes. Alright, just slow down. F5 again. And now switch back to the target. So the other side of the nav ball. Let's just see. I have to get back to the retro and then push that. Hopefully it will be helping here. Yes. 0.3, 2, 1. Okay, it's going back again. But we are definitely meeting up. And it's a very lovely scenery here as well. So let's go. Where's the station now? There, right above us. And we definitely still have more than enough fuel for this one. Now it would be good to know exactly where we need to dock here. I think let's just push the thing back again. Okay, that's 0, now. Now what is that one? It's still difficult to see from up here. Okay, this is better. Now it's going to be one of these ports here. So is that now, that's the Quant 2 there. Must be, so I think it's this port. Only 2 meters per second, so I can have a quick look at our mirror diagram again. So we are docking on the opposite side of Quant 2. Yes, that's right. And it looks like that part where our fluid spectrometer is going to point outwards towards the Soyuz. So this thing here needs to point out. Okay. Because on that I don't see the top stuff. But okay, never mind that. We just need to have one more picture here. Let's hope I don't crash. So there is definitely the Soyuz, and this does not have that, so it should be the other way around. Okay. Now that's the Quant 2, so there is our target. Let's just move ourselves now. Locked again, and towards the right. Why is it opposite side? Oh, it's targeting the retrograde here, that's why. Alright, let's get closer. There's our port. Set as target and get ready to slow down here. I'll use the main engines, no risk here. This should be a relatively straightforward docking procedure, let's hope. Too far, push back. Okay, F5 again. So, what's the next step? Let's just, oh no, I shouldn't have changed the view there. Okay, so this thing here, no, let's see, if I go back to the diagram again, that's the Progress or the Soyuz, and that definitely does not have the monopropellant, or not the mono, I keep calling it the monopropellant tank, but the mystery goo thing. So that should be pointing that way towards the main core module. I think, if I've got this right now. Yes, then the window is looking out over the Soyuz or the Progress. So let's reverse a little, but are we still locked? So let's just go this way. Just until we're more or less in line with the axis of the craft here. Still lots of fuel. This one was much better than the crystal docking. Then almost there. At least I want the port to be pointing to that one. Okay, stop right there and retro please. And in a moment I will control from this docking port. Is that more or less it? I guess we have to move a bit ahead, because when we turn, the center point will be somewhere there, center of mass. F5 again. Little bit more. Now the panels are going to have to be in line with, I think, the crystal there. I'll just have to check again. No. What am I doing? Pressing the wrong stuff here. Okay, 0, 0, F5. Let's have a look at the diagram again. So, no, the crystal, and where the preroda is eventually going to be, that is the line in which the panels must go. So the panels must show that way. Okay, now let's just get the control right. So it should be from here. And please point to the target. No. Don't use RCS for that. This thing has a heck of a lot of torque here, but that's a good thing. Now, let's just see again. We're still stable. Now that is, of course, the crystal with its one panel. Now here again we'll need this, so let's just see. Is this the right way now? No, it's the other way around, I think. Yes. Those two tanks show towards the craft there. Actually, I'm just going to use fine controls. This one is going to be a bit difficult because of all the torque. Just want to get it to about 180 again. There's a fly here in this room now, and it's not going to go away. Good grief. We have to deal with this sort of thing as well. Let's just move a little bit other way. Just so we're pointing perfectly straight down, so the docking happens easier. I think this thing has to be on the center line here. Okay, hopefully that's right. Now, do I move it up or down? Oh yes, whoa, we're losing this one. Okay, now it's going to follow until it gets right there in the middle. Okay, I think that's more or less right. So in this case, forward please. Let's see if we can get a docking. Whew, okay, we need to turn... Okay, first just get this thing pointing a bit better. Turn the RCS off and just roll very slightly. I want that 180, please. Okay, that's 180 exactly. Let's hope it stays that way. F5 and... Not terrible. This thing, of course, shows we're not perfectly aligned. Maybe I need to move it a little bit. Almost. Come on. Stay 180, please. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. And -1. Bang. Okay, I think it might have changed slightly there right before the end. I saw 179. But if it's 0.1 or so off, it's okay. Let's just see if we deploy the panels, what this thing looks like. All lights on and off again, please. Getting definite frame rate drops here now. According to Bandicam, it's down to 15 frames. Good grief. Give me a orbital thing, please. Thank you. And shut down all the engines here. Oh, look at this wobble. Now the problem here is the various reaction wheels might end up fighting one another. Look at that wobble there. No, that's not good. Don't break here. Anyway, let's deploy the panels. And we'll just have to time warp to stabilize this. It's a good thing this is not a much bigger station than we have here. Almost, it's looking like Mir, comrades. It's looking like Mir, and I'm very happy with it. Let's just what are you doing? Maybe I need to turn the reaction wheels off in here. But there aren't really. It's just the main probe core, which I can't even see now. Well, this is supposed to point down anyway. So let's say control from here. And point radial in, please. Minor teething problems there. Then extend. No, we can actually auto strut the thing. That's of course a good thing. Let's just say extend this antenna. That's a very good feature. I think we're going to have to extend antenna. Yes, this is definitely flexing way too much. So I'm going to take this node here and I'm going to say, oh yes, immediate results. Just auto strut the heaviest part. Do the same on the outer part of all the modules. There. Instant results, comrades. That's a good thing. Okay, there is our Mir station. Looking like it's supposed to, I think. Almost anyway. Let's just have a look at the diagram again. So, which way is X plus? X plus is Quant 1, so I think that is supposed to point towards the direction that we're traveling, which it's almost doing. Now in this case I'm just going to have to guess because I can't see where prograde is now. Bit more. I think we're still a little off. Prograde must be somewhere in that direction. It's close enough for now. So I think that's more or less the orientation of the thing as well. So, yes, F5 again, comrades, and I will see you next time. Hopefully it won't be too long. Why do we have liquid fuel here? Oh, it's the to craft. That's good. Let's just put it back on normal stability assist. And yes, so I'll try to make the next one is obviously going to be our docking port, which will attach to the bottom of the crystal module for the shuttle. So that will be an actual shuttle launch. So that won't be such a major build because it's a small module there. So I'll try to do it at the very latest by midweek. And then, of course, we still have our last module. But this is such a great thing. For the first time, I've never built a station this elaborate before. It's been like 1 or 2 modules or something. It's never been like this before. So also because we have all these various facilities on the station, we can really use this. I wish we could port this into a career game or something, or a science game, but we can still pretend to do the science anyway. Analyze samples from Duna and quarantine it that way and all sorts of things. But yes, I'm very happy with this. It's looking great. So see you next time, comrades. Thank you as always for your support and your patience. And I am taking note of all your suggestions that you're leaving in the comments. Obviously, it will be a while before I can get to that, but do leave them for me and I will, of course, record them at some point. I'll try anyway. So have a fantastic week, comrades.